Buy or sell, coming up in about 10 minutes from now. Producer Evan will have 5 or 6 takes for me to buy or sell. So we'll close up hour number 1 of the program. But it was Ryne Nelson on the bump last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he delivered exactly the start that this team needed. 6 2/3, only allowing the 2 earned runs. Did not walk anybody. 7 strikeouts. Boo Birds came out last night when Torey Lovullo went out there to get Ryne Nelson there in that 7th inning before he was allowed to finish. And I think it was Boo Birds because they were enjoying the performance from Ryne Nelson. It was Boo Birds because everybody is tired of seeing this bullpen constantly give up leads, which is exactly what they did 1 pitch later. But those Boo Birds came out because you enjoyed watching Ryne Nelson pitch last night. You enjoyed him going 6 2/3 with those 7 strikeouts and having that fastball with that life on it and being able to put together a quality start, an excellent start against a team like the Giants. And it has been the story of this season for Ryne Nelson. He has been a fantastic starter when given the opportunity. I don't usually like to do this because I don't want to bore you with numbers, but I think it is an important exercise. These are the stat lines for the games that Ryne Nelson has started this season. We all remember the 4 1/3, 2 runs allowed that he gave up against the Mets when he filled in for Corbin Burns. He then made 2 spot starts filling in for Eduardo Rodriguez, went 5 innings, allowed 1 run against the Dodgers in LA, was dominant in that one, striking out 2, only allowing the 1 run, just pitching to contact, only 1 walk. He then against Pittsburgh, 6 2/3 scoreless, no walks in that one, 4 strikeouts. Then he had that stinker against Cincinnati, only went 3 innings, allowed 7 runs. Since then, this is what the last 4 starts have been for Ryne Nelson. 5 innings, 1 run, no earned runs allowed against San Diego. 5 2/3, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts against Toronto in Toronto. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks against the White Sox. And last night, 6 2/3, the 2 earned runs allowed, 7 strikeouts, no walks. In his last 4 starts, he's allowed 4 earned runs. This is the Ryne Nelson that we saw in the second half of last year. This is the Ryne Nelson that we saw, or we thought, was going to be able to help withstand some of the injuries that this rotation had faced. This is also a Ryne Nelson that this team can build around. I have warned you of what is coming for this franchise this offseason. A world where they only have 2 starters in their rotation for next season. Brendan Pfaadt and Eduardo Rodriguez, the guys that are under contract. Well, let's also talk about Ryne Nelson in that conversation. Let's now not forget about what he has done in the second half of last year and into this year. A guy who isn't a free agent until 2029, meaning this team has him under team control for the next 3 seasons. He's arbitration eligible for the next 3 seasons. He's only making $825,000. I have told you that this team is going to need 3 starters next offseason. Guess what? You've got one of them in-house. You have one of them under team control for the next 3 seasons. You have one of them that isn't going to cost a lot of money, even if he gets a raise in arbitration. It's going to be less than $5 million, going to be less than $3 million for Ryne Nelson. It's not going to get that big of a jump in arbitration. You're going to have a cost-controlled pitcher under contract, under team control for the next 3 seasons at the time when you absolutely need to have players like that in your rotation, because you're paying Eduardo Rodriguez for another 2 years. You gave Brendan Pfaadt the long-term contract that's going to kick in next season and bump up his salary to $3.4 million. It would be nice to have another starter like that you believe in, that you're confident in, that isn't making a whole lot of money. And I would not be surprised if after the second half that he had last year and the way that he's going this year, pitching to a sub-4 ERA, I think his ERA for the year is 3.61. The way that he is pitching since being put into this rotation, if there isn't a conversation similar to the one that the Diamondbacks had with Brendan Pfaadt this offseason or this spring, next spring, between the team and Ryne Nelson, to get him under team control for the next couple of years. That's what this organization needs to do. This payroll is going to come down. Your way of staying relevant, even though that payroll is coming down, guys like Ryne Nelson. He has been everything this team has needed this season. He has been everything this team is going to need starting in 2026 when they're down 3 starters. You've got one of your 3. His name is Ryne Nelson. You saw it again last night. He's done it against the Dodgers in a big spot. He's dominated teams that you're supposed to dominate, like the Pirates. And last night against a good Giants team, he kept you in it. And those 2 earned runs, not really on him. So, we didn't talk about this at the top of the show, but Ryne Nelson deserved his own segment here on the program because he is proving that for a team that doesn't have to penny pinch, but has to really make sure every dollar is spent wisely in 2026, Ryne Nelson helps this team and helps Mike Hazen field a competitive team in 2026. Helps them keep this window open while you have Marte, while you have Corbin Carroll, while you have Perdomo in their primes. You need a good, solid rotation. Ryne Nelson is showing that he deserves to be one of the 5 guys that is a part of that rotation next season. It's 4 starts in a row, 2 runs or fewer. You take out the clunker against Cincinnati. He's been great all season long. And I'll give you one mulligan throughout the course of a season.
You always get one.
You get one.
Even the best pitchers get one day.
You get one.
You always get one. But I don't know how you don't look at Ryne Nelson and say he's not in the rotation, in a stable of the rotation in 2026. I mean, they're at a point where you could lose 3 of the guys you came in with, and you look at Ryne Nelson, and to me, he's a guy I'm really confident in right now. Every time he touches the hill.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Corbin Burns out next year. Zach Allen and Merrill Kelly, free agents. Of the players that are healthy and on the roster for next season, is Ryne Nelson the best pitcher the Diamondbacks have right now?
It's not a question. Let me ask you this. Ryne Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Pfaadt.
Ryne Nelson.
There it is. There's the answer.
I don't even think it's a debate. I think it's Ryne Nelson. Now,
gosh, if that's the staff next year, it's weak.
This is why I said this team needs 3 starters. And so if Ryne Nelson can emerge and be something that's a number 2 or a number 3 starter, you've now got something. You've got something that doesn't cost you a whole lot. And if Brendan Pfaadt makes some offseason adjustments and gets back to being the pitcher that we've seen him be, okay, I can start to see those guys slotting in 2 and 3, and I can feel pretty good about this rotation. I don't think you're going to have a frontline starter because I don't think you're going to spend money on a frontline starter.
Because you did, and
now he's hurt. So I think you're going to have, at best, some number 2s, probably a bunch of number 3s or 4s, and you're going to hope that that's enough paired with a better bullpen next season. But take out the game against Cincinnati. And I know you can't do this, but you take out the game against Cincinnati. You remove it. You remove the 7 runs that he allowed. He hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in a start this season. That's ace-type stuff. That's frontline starter-type stuff. And he's given you length. I see 2 starts in here where he's taken the ball into the 7th inning. His last 4 starts, 5 innings, 5 2/3, 5 innings, 6 2/3. He's taken the ball into the 6th twice, into the 7th one time in his last 4 starts. Ryne Nelson is emerging as an answer for this team in 2026 for a piece of their puzzle that needs a lot of answers. So, tip of the cap to Ryne Nelson last night. I thought he did an excellent job. The 7 strikeouts, some unfair luck goes his way there in the 7th when Murillo comes in, throws 1 pitch, and allows the 2 runs to score. But he has been excellent. His last 4 starts, 2 runs or fewer in all 4 of them. He's just been awesome. And he continues to be a bright spot when he takes the mound every 5th day.